Hey guys, this is Canfree15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf.
What's up?
We are back at it with another video for you guys. I'm back with another My Hero Academia Season 5 video for you guys. And if you are a hater of Season 5, you can all F off. But anyways, yes, this episode was good. Good! Not, again, you have some people ripping it. I'm not getting into that. I'm done. I'm done talking about people hating on the anime. But regardless. This episode was amazing. Great. Good content. And it's all centered around Toga.
Yes. Quite gory, I must say.
Yeah. Very, very bloody. A lot of blood was shown here.
So were they fighting the Revolutionary Army?
The Meta Liberation Army.
The Meta Liberation Army, my bad.
So, this is My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 21. So, speaking of the Meta Liberation Army, we start this episode off about them going on a monologue about this, rally about the Quirks being, I guess, used as a right. God. Making me hear that things of today's politics. What's a right? It's a right to wear it. It's a right not to wear a mask. Good God. Don't get me started with that. They're taking away our rights. So yeah, we see that there are obviously people out there saying it's a right to use their quirks in public, essentially. And this movement was led by a man named Chikara Yotsu Bootbashi. Now he called himself Destro, and he says he was a man who will destroy the present. Now, after some time has passed, he formed this group called the Meta Liberation Army. Now he actually confronted the government. But like any other type of resistance trying to go up against the government, what happens?
They get outlawed, basically.
Yeah. They lose. They lose. Most of the members end up, I guess, from what they said, I guess either dropped or they got arrested. Now Destro, he got arrested, and before he killed himself, he wrote that Meta Liberation book that Hawks has been passing around, as have you been seeing, and stuff like that. So then, fun fact, we find out he had a kid named Destro, which is the very pointy-nosed guy.
Oh, unfortunate to have that as a son. Just kidding. If you have a big nose, better son.
Yeah, he still has the same eye line type of thing as his father.
And I can tell just from his smile, he's just as twisted.
Oh, yes, he's very twisted. Very twisted indeed.
I'm guessing you would know since you read the manga, but...
Yes.
I wonder what kind of twisted things he does next.
Yeah, now, his little group of people essentially tracked down, which is obviously the one guy they captured, which has ties to the League of Villains, and Destro's like, let's take down the League of Villains once and for all and assert ourselves as the dominant force here in the public of Japan, which, okay, makes sense. We get some background information on why they're attacking the League of Villains. Now, speaking of the League of Villains, we see them go to Deka City, which again, from the many episodes ago, we saw Shigaraki completely annihilate that city for some way, somehow, which we actually get a tease to that his powers are actually upgrading, are getting stronger. Very scary.
Yes.
Now, we see that hero we saw, the one with the little black cowl and the cape wearing the purple costume, that slide and go hero. Mm-hmm. Well, he's been with the Liberation Army from the start, so technically he was corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes you wonder, how many more heroes are corrupt?
I'm starting to think also.
Yes. Now he's like, listen, I'll take you to the boss and everything, and I'll show you around the town. And what happens when he does that?
They suddenly get surrounded.
Yes, because they see this. Funny enough, they see this one cat on the building. He's just looking down at them like, and then they just all get attacked by all of them. So, well, actually, they get confronted by the spiffy little cow back with his little Superman haircut, named Hanabata, and they get attacked by all, and then also by this blue girl, skin girl named Chitose Kizuki. But they end up, like my co-host said, get attacked by the other Liberation Army members. Also, we find out that in Deka City, 90% of the population here are people that are mostly in the Liberation Army.
Mm-hmm.
Which, essentially, there are the whole thing about them having over 1,000 troops or 10,000 troops. That's true.
Where are they going to get that? Where are they going to get that amount?
I said it again.
Where will that amount come out?
I don't know. Hey, they just living there. They just living there, just under Redestro's little thumb. Anyways, so they end up getting attacked by the other Liberation members. They all get split up eventually. Now, Toga, she ends up starting her fight with Chitose, the blue lady. Or her code name is called Curious, which, okay, interesting. And the thing about Miss Chitose, she's wondering why a high school girl would go mad, which we know Toga has been wearing what would be equivalent to a high school outfit, like a high school outfit in Japan.
Well, that's what she was before she started killing.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing, we cut over back, speaking of Redestro, Jiren, not Jiren, or Garen, I don't know how you pronounce his name. He's talking to Redestro. He's like, you're not going to get out of this alive. My comrades will save me. And I don't care. And he's like, what if they bring the Nomus and stuff like that to counteract the 10,000 men? And Redestro's like, that's probably not going to happen, because you want to know why? And he gives off the many reasons to why the Nomi wouldn't show up, but the main reason he points home is the fact that he knows the League of Villains are being supplied Nomus, which are coming from the Doctor himself and creating the Nomus. Also, he brings up the fact that, All For One's not in the picture no more, so guess what? He can't do it either. So he's like, listen, I'm cool. I'm fine. You guys have to come find me. So, and then he's just watching the city get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder what powers he's got. So, very interesting and stuff like that. Now, Chitose actually wants to know more about Toga and her backstory and why she's like the insane person that joined the League of Villains. Care to tell us the backstory of Toga that was revealed in this episode?
So apparently, she attacked her classmates and started sucking his blood. And wait, doesn't her classmate kind of look like Deku? Kind of.
Well, that one classmate, that probably I think is the reason why she's so fascinated with Deku. Because that kid in her class looks just like him. And let me just say this before you continue with your explanation. The scening and just the animation and the way they made Toga look. Oh my God. I was like,
freaky.
It was actually scaring me, especially when, one of her classmates in the news was talking about, I saw her sucking the classmate's blood and she looked like an insane freak. Oh my God.
There's people out there who think she is best girl just for that.
Yeah, if you want to get your blood sucked.
Go right ahead, guys. Go right ahead.
And honestly, when she was making that where that face, it actually disturbed me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what other things did did we see her suck or bite down?
A little bird.
Yeah. Just some very creepy stuff, man. Some very creepy stuff. And again, let me just say this content was bad? What are you people talking about? If you're hating on the season, if you're not hating on the season, you're not in the minority. But how can you call any of this content we're getting bad? I was like, yo, this is great.
Is it just as gory as in the manga?
Not as gory, because obviously they censored some things, and stuff like that. But in my opinion, it was actually pretty damn violent.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when what you saw, like you saw her stick the straw and start sucking the blood. I'm like, that's actually pretty disturbing. It actually makes my skin crawl. And you just see that Toga's urge to try to hold back of her blood sucking quirk, it was just too much for her to handle. And she just gave in. And that's how she became the person she is. And then I guess it doesn't help the fact that the parents were also kind of jokes too. Like they didn't really, it seemed like she didn't have parents that taught her what's right from wrong and maybe tried to get her some help to quell.
Yeah, the best we saw them say is like stuff like, why weren't you born normal? Why can't you be normal? You know? Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole thing. She has this talk with Chitose about, why aren't you not normal? Why are you different than a regular girl?
Speaking of, I did not expect that kind of ending from Chitose.
You mean when she died?
Yeah, I did not expect that kind of ending.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, it's freaking it's literally freaking crazy. Like even you have Toga's parents like saying like, you look like a freaking freak or a monster or something and stuff like that. Why do you put on that smile? So we kind of get another type of character here that, well, was kind of, I wouldn't say abused by their parents, but just the parents didn't clearly show love towards their kid or didn't find ways to help their kid. Clearly the parents could have found some way to try to, like, I guess, quell her bloodlust. But if Toga was good, she could have been like the type of character that like helps donate blood and stuff like that. So sadly, that's not how things turned out, and she gave into her, I guess, vampire-like side and just sucked blood because she liked the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, visually seen, I was actually pretty damn disturbed.
Yes.
Now Toga, she's trying to fight back against obviously Chitose, but the explosions are affecting Toga's just ways to move around. And we find out Chitose's quirk, and her quirk is called Landmine, and anything she touches turns into a bomb. Like we see in this fight, she tries to suck some of the other little mini Liberation members' blood in, and what happens to her?
It blows up in her. She just blows up.
And I'm like, what the fudge? Now, again, I'm just now remembering this because it's been a while since I last read My Villain Academia. But just seeing this, like, she literally ingests the blood and it blows up because essentially those people were kamikazes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, I touched those people willing to give their life up for the cause. Which I'm like, I never understood people who are willing to kill themselves for a greater cause and not willing to see it through. So it's disturbing. And what I mean, dude, this is probably one of the most bloodiest episodes of My Hero Academia ever, if not the bloodiest. Definitely have to be the bloodiest episode of My Hero, right?
So far.
Like,
I'd imagine it get worse later on.
Yeah. And I think this is the one episode of My Hero Academia we've seen like the most people die in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, a lot of people died here.
Mm-hmm. I did not expect Toga to turn into Uraraka right there.
Yes, we're getting to that real soon. Now, essentially, Toga is about to confront her Chitose because she blows it right in front of Chitose. Everything, and Chitose is kind of touching her. She's like, "Don't worry, before you die, you will say your last story." And that's when Toga backs up, and she's like, "What you guys do are wonderful, but I'm gonna show you that I can live a normal life," which is her version of living a normal life, which is doing the evil things that she loves to do. Now, how does tell the audience how Toga wins her fight?
As I said earlier, she turns into Uraraka and she starts beating around, touching everybody, and now she somehow is able to not only copy one's appearance, but now use their quirks. Has she always been able to do that, or?
No, I think in the heat of the moment, her quirk essentially further unlocked. She learned in the heat of the battle, her quirk power further unlocked to be able to do now when she ingests somebody's blood and transforms them into that form. She can now use their quirk.
Yes. And
so, yeah.
Yes. So she lifted Chitose and her men up. And one thing led to another. Yes. Release. And that's how Chitose met her end. That's kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah. And you just see like the blood splurting right behind Toga and everything. And it's like it's a water park, like water, geysers and everything, but it's just blood. And it was like, what the hell? And the one thing I like about how the anime handled this is they actually, the crazy thing, when you had it, it's a thumbnail too. You had it where it's one side of Toga, other side Ochako. And you had the voice actress of Ochako and Toga essentially talking at the same time like it was a fusion. I was like, wow. And I was like, well, this is what would happen if Ochako was ever evil and she was a murderous killer. That's how she would use her quirk.
Is she gonna get framed?
Not to my knowledge, she doesn't get framed at all for this.
Okay.
Because technically we're led to believe everyone in the Meta Liberation Army dies.
Yes, from that one shot of Shigaraki destroying the whole city.
Yeah.
In the past episodes.
Yeah. So, and then remember, the news site just like when that whole thing happened, they just got there and they saw that. So, yeah, and then remember, on the whole face, the old Ochako side of her face is completely done or gone and stuff like that. You also do have to wonder too, if Ochako and Toga come across each other again, do you think Toga will tell Ochako about that? Which could also piss off Ochako.
I don't see any reason to tell her, but yeah.
And then actually even going back further, we remember how in season 4 she copied Deku's form. The question is, if she had unlocked her powers like she did here, would she have been able to use One for All?
Could that be the reasoning behind My Hero Academia's Hero's World Mission?
What?
The reason why Deku was framed for a murder in the movie, apparently.
Definitely, potentially could be the case. Deku is framed by Toga. We'll just have to find out when the movie comes out, which it got a confirmed release date. It's coming out in the States, globally, October 29th.
Excellent.
Yes, you're going to have your same old people. Right? They really sacrificed a movie for a season, but they're going to be the same people going up to the movie theater to go see that movie.
Excellent.
Yes. But this whole scene with Toga was very crazy. Like, my God. And just to see her, it's like, great. Now you really want to protect your blood around her. Because if she's able to use somebody else's transformation, take their form, but use their quirk, she's actually more dangerous than she looks. Like, now Toga's a character you don't want to mess with or don't want to meet in a dark alley.
I'm looking forward to Ochako versus Toga in the future, because
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
Yes. Definitely can't. If that does happen in the future, definitely can't wait to see that happening. But my God, and I just also like how Toga just uses Ochako for just these very heinous ways. She wants to find out why Ochako is who she is. I just don't know. It's just crazy. But this stuff is just creepy, man. I'm telling you, if that wasn't dark, holy crap, man. That wasn't dark. Now, Toga kind of goes off into this little shed area and she kind of collapses because this girl lost a lot of blood. Like, she's literally dripping blood getting to the shed. Now, we later see Twice at the end of the episode freaking find her. We'll get to that real soon. Speaking of Mr. Shigaraki, he's starting to have some flashbacks and stuff like that. We get a flashback of him taking a picture with his grandma, Nana Shimura. And then we see, obviously, I believe that's his sister, and she calls him Tenko. So we just see little tidbits of his flashback, of his backstory and everything. He's like, oh God, this is making me freaking sick. And he literally throws up, and we see it, and he's like, and then he literally, as he's decaying, one person decays him. But what is the thing that shocks everybody? Oh wait, he not only decayed that one person, but decayed all the other surrounding members of that one group of people without touching them. So just like Toga, his quirk seems to be getting stronger as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the League of Villains definitely seem like they're getting more powerful. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Now
Yes.
let's talk about Dobby.
Oh yes, Dobby. Now he's fighting an ice-controlled guy. Now they don't say his name is, but his name's Gentin. Essentially he controls ice.
Yes.
Which
It's a pretty even match, fire versus ice.
is very interesting because you wonder, again, is Dobby related to the Todorokis? And if that's the case, you could say he could maybe use it as a warm-up, maybe to eventually fight Shoto, I'm guessing?
Fire and ice versus blue flames.
Yes, so for the time being, that fight's kind of a draw because we don't see where it's gonna end. But yeah. Now, again, like I was saying, the episode ends off with Twice finding Toga in the shed. He's like, oh no, is she dead? Is she dead? I can't do it. And we know Twice is a very unique individual, especially when you take off his mask. And we see these people come up behind him that look like him. Because we know Twice's backstory is the fact that he made copies of himself and almost got himself killed by doing that, because other copies were like, no, I'm the real one. I'm the real one. No, I'm the real one. And stuff like that. Now, we see another member of the Liberation Army. His name is Skeptic, and his quirk is an anthropomorphic. Essentially, he can change things like people as the same size like fridges or desk, which is crazy. And we just see like these fake Twice members just pulling off Twice's mask and everything, and that's where the episode ends off. So next week, it seems like it's going to be centered around Mr. Twice next week. And the episode's titled Sad Man's Parade. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But let's just say if you were shocked by the Toga stuff, when you see what Twice does, you're really gonna see how strong Twice is.
Yeah, because we didn't really see how strong Twice is during the anime in the past few seasons, have we?
Nope. So, yeah. And we also know that Twice, if he's probably gonna be backed in a corner, especially with Toga, because we know he likes Toga, and he cares for her because that's his family essentially. It's gonna be very interesting to see what he frickin' does. So,
as usual, the fan fiction ships Toga and Dobby.
Listen, that's there.
I mean, those two characters have a lot of fan fiction. I just gotta say.
I guess you can say that. But yeah. Anyways, that was an episode of My Hero Academia. So good. Don't care what anybody says. So good. Definitely enjoyed this. Now a lot of people did say the pacing was rushed here. Listen, what did you expect? Of course it's going to be rushed. But I still felt like they got enough content in for me to understand what was going on here. People are just complaining just to find things to complain about season 5. Anyways, you enjoyed this episode?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right. Anyways, next Saturday we'll be back to talk Mr. Sadman's Parade. I guess Twice. Yeah. And I wonder if we're gonna get close to that Shigaraki versus Redestro fight. Because you know it's gonna happen. Leader versus leader. We enjoyed this episode. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of My Villain Academia. I gotta keep remembering to say that. As well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content. So then, guys, I will catch you guys for My Hero Academia manga chapter 324 review tomorrow. Why does this manga keep hitting me? Huh?
Come again?
It hits me in the feels. It's not a reference to somebody dying. It's just an emotional moment.
And I'm left in suspense.
Yes, I know. I can't wait till you see the scene because you're gonna be. Sorry. Other than that, we're gonna get over. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm not even trying to this video. Till then, guys, peace.
Peace.